Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. It's that time again to do our potential upset alert college football games for week 5 of the 2025 college football season. We're going to be breaking down the games that I think the favorite team needs to be on upset alert. They might be going down this weekend. This is actually probably the best weekend of college football we've had yet this season. Some really good top 25 versus top 25 matchups. We are going to predict the outcome for these games, the winner, loser, if there's going to be an upset, what the final score might be, and we'll also look at the best bets, the money lines, the spreads, the over-unders. First things first, before we get started, guys, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments, drop them below. Let me know who you think is going to win. Let me know if you think the upset is going to happen this weekend. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let's not waste any more time. Let's start looking through these games. The very first one that caught my eye when I was looking at potential ranked teams that are favored that might go down, ABC, 12 p.m., number 22, Notre Dame Fighting Irish, 1 and 2. They've obviously already lost 2 games, 2 teams that they were actually favored against, and they got upset. They are going to be the favorite team here. Do they get upset for the third time? They're on the road here, on the road in the SEC versus 2 and 2 Arkansas Razorbacks. Arkansas Razorbacks, this is the team that would upset someone. Right now, the Razorbacks, 43.5% chance to win. The Irish, 56.5% chance to win. Notre Dame, 6.5-point favorite, 64.5 over under. The Irish are minus 222. The Razorbacks plus 183. Do not underestimate Sam Pittman's team here. Do not underestimate Bobby Petrino. Arkansas, they can slug it out with anyone in college football. They have a really good offense, physical defense, but it's the offense. It's Taylon Green that can make the difference. He's averaging over 14 yards every single pass completion. He's almost at 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns, 4 picks, almost 400 yards on the ground with 2 rushing touchdowns. This guy's leading the way here. They're going to be scoring. They're going to be scoring in bunches, and the Irish's defense has kind of stunk this season. They had the number 3 defense last season. They definitely don't have that right now. They got to get that defense back on track. Ash, I don't know what you're doing with that secondary. This is a very good secondary. Experienced, veteran, good front 7. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass, but one thing Notre Dame has been able to do, props to Denbrock here, props to Marcus Freeman, they keep that offenses rolling. CJ Carr here, they're going to be able to sling it up and down the field. They're averaging 40 a game, throwing for 265, running for 161, but they're giving up 32.7 points a game from a team that had the number 3 defense last year. How's that even possible? Razorbacks are averaging 43.5 points a game, throwing for 324.3, running for 227.8, giving up 23.5 points a game. No matter who you are, Notre Dame's been giving up points. They gave up, 30 to Purdue last week. CJ Carr, almost 800 yards. They have Love. They have Pierce. They have Fields. Grayhouse facing. There's a lot of veterans on this team. Is the upset going to happen? It is definitely possible. They're going to the SEC, playing a team that loses like 5 to 6 games every year, but every game they lose is a one-possession game where they almost upset the favorite team. I think the Irish do indeed avoid the upset. I think it's a high-scoring game. They pull away at the very end. They win at 37-28. Then on CBS at 3:30 p.m., Big Ten versus Big Ten. Number 1, the defending national champions, the Ohio State Buckeyes, 3-0 undefeated. Week 1 win versus Texas. The offense has been rolling the last 2 weeks. They are fully rested off the bye here. They'll be visiting the Washington Huskies, 3-0 Jeff Fish team. This team is disciplined. They have one of the best offenses, a top 3 offense in the nation with a really good defense, and they're at home. The Huskies, 31.2% chance to win. The Buckeyes, a 68.8%. Don't underestimate Washington here. They might surprise you. Buckeyes, 9.5-point favorites, 52.5 over-under. Sayin has gotten things on track. Week 1, he was kind of rusty there, but it was his first time as the full-time starter, closing in on 800 yards, 8 touchdowns, 3 picks. They have Jackson, a running back. Jeremiah Smith, the best offensive player in the nation. They have Caleb Downs, the best defensive player in the nation. They have a top 3 overall roster. They have Ryan Day. They have Hartline. They have Patricia. Great coaching staff. They're averaging 40.3 points a game, throwing for 283.3, running for 192, only giving up 5.3 points a game. That is tied for first place in the nation. They had the number 1 defense last year. They have the number 1 defense again. Washington, look at these numbers, though. 55.7 points a game. You got to take this team serious. They're throwing for 276, running for 260, over 500 yards of offense a game, only giving up 18.3 points per game, only giving up 62.7 on the ground. Their front 7 shutting the run game down. Williams Jr. almost 800 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, no picks. They have Coleman at running back. They have Boston. They have the weapons. I think this game's going to be really close by halftime, but the Buckeyes avoid the upset. They win this one 31-17. But I think the Huskies give them a little bit of a run for 1 or 2 quarters, and they show how deep the Big Ten is. An ABC at 3:30 p.m. Now some SEC versus SEC. Number 4 LSU 4-0. Kind of disappointing the last 2 weeks. They actually fell a spot, won a convincing win last week, but they dropped them because that was actually the first time. Week 4 was the first week they scored over 20 points in one game. How's that even possible? The offense was supposed to be their strength this season. It's actually the defense. Nussmeier, the veteran offense, none of that has mattered. The defense has been leading the way. Year 2 under Blake Baker, Brian Kelly, the strides they took in year 1 were great. The strides they've taken in year 2, they have a top 10, top 5 defense right now. And if they get that offense on track, keep your eye on this team. Their best win, though, versus Clemson, which honestly is not a good win anymore. Clemson's 1-3. It's no longer impressive. They're on the road here versus number 13 Ole Miss 4-0. This is Lane Kiffin's team. No matter who the quarterback is, Lane Kiffin, he's going to get his. He's going to score some points. Ole Miss, 73.3% chance to win this one. The Tigers, a 26.7%. Even though LSU's number 4 and the Rebels are number 13, the fans, 3/4 of them going with Ole Miss. They're sensing the upset here. Vegas is going with them too. They are 1.5-point favorites, 55.5 over-under. The Tigers 29 points a game. They come into this one. They're throwing for 275, running for 116.8, only giving up 9.3 points per game. Very good defense. How does Ole Miss respond? Simmons not going to be starting this game. It's going to be Shamlis here. He's a veteran, but not a veteran in the Power 4, especially not in the SEC. They're averaging 44.8, throwing for 324.8, running for 218.5, giving up 18.8 points a game. The Rebels last year actually had a top 10 defense. A lot of those guys went off to the NFL. They don't have a bad defense. It's not top 10, but will they be able to keep this game close enough to where the offense can control the pace of it? If that Tigers offense doesn't get started early and this game starts to linger, Ole Miss at home might be able to pull off the upset. Even though the Tigers have the veterans, guys, I'm going to go a little bit out on a limb here. Give me Ole Miss pulling off the upset. They win this one 28-23. It's going to be a fun game. 7 p.m. on ESPN, the 3-0, the Arizona Wildcats. This team, not a good year last year. The improvements they made this season, Fafita back, veteran quarterback, over 700 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, no picks. He was throwing a lot of picks last season. He's been efficient, decisive this year. They'll be on the road here versus number 14 Iowa State Cyclones, 4-0, one of the favorites to win the Big 12. The reason they're on the upset alert list off the bye week last week, it's been a little while. The offense hasn't been great this season. It's not bad, but maybe they're rusty here. They get caught off guard by a very competitive Arizona Wildcats team. I was going to go with Indiana versus Iowa in this game because Kirk Ferentz, long-tenured coach, they always have a top 10 defense. They're always physical, but all Kurt Cignetti does is win. He has the fighting Cignettis. I think Indiana's going to win that game, so I settled on this one. Arizona versus Iowa State makes a lot of sense here. The Wildcats, they have a 38.7% chance to win this one. Iowa State, 61.3% chance. Matt Campbell's team, they are always disciplined. They are always physical at the line of scrimmage. He's had so many opportunities to leave. He has stayed loyal to this team. He has Rocco Beck back, 3rd year as the starting quarterback on this team. In this scheme, with this system, almost 900 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, 1 pick. Do not underestimate what he can do as a veteran. He's not a dual-threat quarterback, but he will scramble. He will run for first downs. They have Hansen. They have a decent wide receiver core. Arizona, they're averaging 37 a game, throwing for 248, running for 189, giving up 8.7. Arizona, who did not play last season well, they have a pretty good defense this season, giving up less than 9. Iowa State, 29.8 points a game, throwing for 222, running for 161, giving up 14.3. I think Matt Campbell here, they're probably going to get upset at some point. I feel it lurking on the horizon. Would not be surprised if it happens this weekend. That's why they're on my upset alert list. But I think they do just enough to avoid the upset fourth quarter. They win this one 33-27. And honestly, I went back and forth on this next one. This is the game of the weekend. This is a very good, very competitive weekend, but this one takes the cake here. 7:30 p.m. NBC. Top 6 teams facing off. Number 6 Oregon Ducks 4-0 facing number 3 Penn State 3-0. Whoever wins this game could be number 2 or 3 next week. Hey, they might even be number 1. It just depends on how convincing the win is. The Ducks a 48.9% chance to win. The Nittany Lions a 51.1% chance to win. Practically a 50-50 split with the fan vote. Right now the Nittany Lions 3.5-point favorites, a 52.5 over-under. Everything is in the Nittany Lions' favor. They're at home. Thankfully, for the love of God, it's not the big noon kickoff. They actually let them have a night game for once for the whiteout. It is going to be crazy. It's going to be dark. Everyone's going to be in white. It's going to be loud. It's going to be hectic. Very hard for the road team. but that puts a lot of pressure on James Franklin. If it's not this season, when is it? This is one of the most veteran, experienced rosters in the nation. All these guys are going to be gone next season. They're all veterans, quarterback, wide receiver, running backs. If he can win it here, it's going to be really hard in a very competitive Big Ten. This is his chance here to let the entire Big Ten know it's not the Buckeyes, it's the Nittany Lions that are the team to beat this season. But Dan Lanning on the other side, they have a top 5 overall roster. They're loaded. They're physical at the line of scrimmage, just like the Nittany Lions are. Both these teams, they can line up with anyone in the nation. They can compete with you in the trenches. Right now, the Ducks, 50.8 points per game, but they haven't played anyone yet. But neither has Penn State. The Ducks throwing for 268.5, running for 255.3, averaging about 540 yards of offense, only giving up 9.3 a game. Penn State 44 points a game, throwing for 243.7, running for 193.7, only giving up 5.7 points a game. Number 2 defense in the nation. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a slogging trench warfare game, and both these teams are uber talented. Looking at the Ducks, Dante Moore, first season as the full-time starter, 1,000 yards passing, 11 touchdowns, only 1 pick. He's not a dual-threat quarterback, but if there's a pathway there for the first down, this guy's going to take off, and he will get it. They have Limar. They have Moore. There's weapons up and down the team. They have a great offensive line, great defensive line, but Penn State, their front seven, they get after it. They create havoc in the backfield. Can they disrupt Dante Moore on the road as a young starting quarterback, potentially force some turnovers, force some errant throws? One of the best 1-2 running back combos in the nation. Allen, Singleton, they can keep those legs fresh, cycle those guys out. The best Penn State wide receiver core they've had in years. Pena here, veteran wide receiver coming over from Syracuse. This is the year for Penn State to win the Big Ten. Not just win the Big Ten, but compete on the national stage for the national championship. But that also puts a lot of pressure on them. Can they avoid the upset? This game, when it comes to betting, I'm personally not going to go anywhere near this game because I could see this game going either way. It's a 50-50 pick'em game to me. These teams could even face again in the Big Ten Championship. Whoever wins game 1, it's going to be very hard to beat a good team twice. They would probably win the Big Ten if these teams face off again. These teams could face off in the playoffs. I think no matter what, both of them make the playoffs. So this game isn't necessary, but tell that to a football player. You want to win this game. You want the momentum. You want to cement yourself as the top team. I'm going Ducks. Give me the Ducks winning this one 26-23. And this next one's going to be crazy. It's going to be rabid. 7:30 p.m. ABC. Number 17, the Alabama Crimson Tide. 2-1 versus number 5, the Georgia Bulldogs. 3-0. Georgia, they've lost 9 of the last 10 to Alabama. Kirby Smart would love to get that pressure off of his shoulders. He still wins the SEC so many seasons. But Bama, for some reason, they got something on him, whether it's Nick Saban or Kalen DeBoer. Kalen DeBoer beat him last year. Alabama, 45.2% chance to win. Georgia, this is in Athens. They have a 54.8% chance. The Bulldogs here, 3.5-point favorites, 53.5 over-under. Kalen DeBoer, he has Grubbs back as the offense coordinator. Fits the scheme. He wants to run a lot more. They want that vertical, deep passing game. They've been attacking deep this entire season. Simpson looking really good the last couple weeks. 9 touchdowns, no picks, almost 900 yards passing. They lost week 1 to Florida State. If they lose this one, they're 17 now. They could get kicked out of the top 25. Personally, for me, in my college football watching life, I've never seen Alabama not ranked in the top 25. Not that I can remember anyways. So that would be pretty crazy to see. Pretty interesting to see here. But also, if they lose and they're 2-2, if they lose one more and they have 3 losses, they're not making the playoffs. They can kiss the playoffs goodbye again, which would put so much pressure on Kalen DeBoer because a 9-3 team is not making the playoffs. I don't care what anyone says. Bama went 9-3 last season. They didn't make the playoffs. It's not going to happen again this year. Georgia, they don't need this game. They lost to Alabama last year. They still won the SEC. But that doesn't mean anything. This is football. You want to win this game. Kirby Smart wants this game. If he wins here, they could easily jump LSU and be the top-ranked team in the SEC also. Right now, 2 of the most talented teams, 2 of the top 3 overall rosters in the nation, NFL players at every single level. Bama, 42.7 points a game, throwing for 335.7, running for 123.7. That's an issue. I have an issue with them only running for less than 124 yards. You got to get that ground and pound going, especially versus Georgia. You want to control the second half, wear these teams down, control time of possession second half. You have to be able to run the ball in the fourth quarter. You need a good run game here, especially versus a Georgia defensive front seven. And that run game, it's going to open up the play action, the deep passes that you want so bad. But Bama is only giving up 15 a game. Georgia, 39 points a game. I've been very hard on Mike Bobo for many years, and deservedly so. I don't like his offense, but he is learning to run the ball a little more than he used to previously do. Right now, Georgia, they're averaging 39, throwing for 261.3, running for 209, only giving up 18 a game, only 82.7 on the ground. But Alabama, they have Georgia's number. It is what it is. That's why it's on the upset alert list. I think Georgia avoids the upset this season. They win this one 30-27. Guys, that's our quick breakdown, our quick games, our quick teams that might be on upset alert for week 5 of the 2025 college football season. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments, drop them below. Do you agree, disagree? What do you think is going to happen? Who do you think is going to win these games? Are there going to be any upsets? Drop it in the comment section. I will respond to every single comment. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out that pinned comment below. Click on that link. You can sign up there. I would appreciate it. Of course, as always, thank you for watching.